Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday interview session. Today, it is a joy to interview Nick Hooker. He is our awesome, fun-loving middle school teacher here in our district.
Represent Elsa.
Oh, good job wearing the
Yep.
shirt. Okay, students, you're well represented here today. Well, Nick and his wife and daughter, Nicola and Amelia, they all three attend here at Mount Scott, and we're so delighted that you guys do. So, hi, Nicola and Amelia. I'm assuming they're going to watch you today, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, Nick, we're just going to jump right in. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Go for it.
You've been doing this teaching thing for how long?
23 years.
Oh, my word, 23 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, in what we called the normal time, before all this hit, just tell me what you love about teaching.
You know, I think it's the connection that I have with kids. I've always really just been more comfortable around kids than adults.
Okay.
And I remember my mom telling me a story when I was they were pushing me through the grocery store, and I would look into grown-ups' eyes and look into their face, and I got no response. And my mom said, "Hey," I asked my mom, why do grown-ups not look at me when I'm looking at them, or they don't seem to acknowledge me? So I think that feeling of like acknowledging kids and really valuing them is something that I just enjoy, and I see that there's appreciation when you treat kids like
you see them?
With respect, yeah. Like I see them, and to value everything they say and to respond to everything that they say. I don't think that the grown-up population necessarily does that enough.
Okay.
And so it's been, and the population that I work with, I think there are a lot of needs there that they're not getting at home that I especially can fulfill, besides the academic needs. So it's as long as I'm on this role and enjoying it, and feeling like it's a blessing, and feeling like everybody's getting something out of it, and I'm still energized, and I'm happy to keep doing this.
And we're so happy that you do it, Nick. It's, I think, a blessing for all of us who just think of you during the week, and we know where you're at, and we know what you're doing. We're so thankful that you're there with those kids who absolutely are delighted in their interactions. I've met several of your students through the years.
Right, they've come to this
love
church.
Mr. Hooker.
Yeah.
So proud of you in that. Could
Thanks.
you just maybe, I don't know, is there one special memory that you have with a student?
You know, Denise, I was thinking about it last night. I was falling asleep. There have been so many moments
I bet.
with the class, with individuals. There have been funny moments and sad moments and really special moments. I think one of my favorites is, I think the most rewarding thing is when, after the fact, so when students come back and they're not this 11 or 12-year-old hormonal, energetic, kind of distracted little individual that I'm trying to teach fractions or division or decimals. They moved on, they've matured, and just to think, wow, I've had an impact on some kind of an impact, whatever impact that is. And when they come back and they say thank you, or I have a student that I still keep in touch with on Facebook, and she's come back a couple of times in the classroom in high school, and then I saw her working at a QFC or something like that, and she really was a fantastic writer, I remember, in fifth grade, 15, 16 years ago. And I remember commenting a lot on her papers, and she remembers that. One of my other favorite memories is the librarian getting on my case. My class, in fifth grade, my whole class would go to library afterwards, and he says, "Why are all my kids crying? Why are all your kids crying?" And I told him the story that I was reading Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh.
And I remember getting kind of choked up as well. You know, spoiler alert. It's
you
not.
Get a little emotional.
It's a sad book.
Story, yes.
So, I just the impact you have on kids. Favorite thing ever is read aloud.
Okay.
So I love doing read aloud.
And it sounds like your students love
Yeah.
love it too.
Yeah.
And we know that you're dramatic enough to be very good at reading a story. So
Love the voices. Yep.
that's awesome. What I hear for all of us is go back and tell a teacher how meaningful something was to you. My mom is 91 and a high school teacher, was a high school teacher, and her too. She still has students finding her on Facebook. And I love to read what they have to say because she was an impactful teacher, as are you. Well, okay, so Nick, things aren't normal right now. Things have really changed.
Yep.
For me, I no longer have a student in our house, so I have no idea how this whole online thing is working.
We didn't either.
I bet not. It's just thrown at you. Give us a snapshot.
Yeah, the learning curve has been super steep.
Okay.
It's been so one of the things that I rely on in a classroom is, the one-on-one, I'll wander through the aisles and make contact with kids and, show them what they could be doing a little bit better here or, constructively criticizing. But you can't do that with online learning, and especially because we have these large classes, we can't do the Zoom type classes where we're doing live interaction and we can answer questions right on the spot.
So
same
everything.
time.
So are you pre-recording?
So what's happening is our week now goes from Thursday. So this is really our Monday.
Okay.
And then it goes through the weekend, and assignments are due next Wednesday.
Okay.
So the kids have Thursday through Wednesday to complete the assignments. Our big work week is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's when we prepare all the materials.
Okay.
And typically that's been, for the first two, we're on our third week now. It's been like an average of like 30 hours Monday through Wednesday.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is if the sun's out, I can go do some stuff outside, and then I end up working outside my normal work hours. I'll sit there in the evening, and before you know it, it's 10 or 11, and I'm still, responding to emails or touching up a lesson.
I bet.
And then Thursday, Friday is a day when, like today, I'll be responding to kids. Certain technologies won't work, so I'll have to go back to the lessons. I'll make a meets video, which is really one of the cool things that's been happening for me, and I know because I'm monitoring the emails that are happening at our school, is that teachers are learning technology at a forced, rapid rate, and I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Measuring the effectiveness of what I'm putting out without my voice, just with what I can create and what I can pull off the internet, is really exciting for me.
Good.
So I'm excited by that.
Good. So maybe this plays into my next question. What's going well in this experience for you and for students, and what's the biggest challenges?
Yeah, and I think I've kind of addressed that. Challenges are individually addressing student needs.
Okay.
And, in the classroom, students, if they didn't get something, if they didn't understand a concept, they could shut down in the classroom.
Okay.
And then I could monitor and re-engage them. But at home, if they're shutting down, there's, are there parents to re-engage them, or is their phone there to distract them? And what kind of schedule are they on? So we all do a lot of work to prepare these lessons, and then sometimes we look and see who's been online, who's turned in the assignments, who's engaged in the videos.
And what percentage of students are you having that actually do that out of, just one class?
It varies. Amount of students that are actually engaging to some extent, like we don't know how much. I would say probably maybe 70%, 75, 80%.
Okay, that's higher than what I've heard. So
Right.
I'm glad to hear that.
That's just engaging. That's just, so what we're
With
counting right
something.
now, are we talking to them in some way? Are we emailing them? Or are they
Sure.
turning in an assignment of the plethora of assignments?
Okay.
The ones that are faithfully doing the work and being there every day to do a certain portion of what we've created is probably more like 40 to 50%.
Okay. All right.
Varies with different subjects, and of course, students have their favorite subjects. So,
Sure, of course.
But I had a meets the other day, real quick. I had a meets. I advertised a classroom get-together online.
Fun.
And I said, hey, just say yes or no to this. I'm not gonna be disappointed if you say no, but if you can, great, just say yes, and I'll send you the link to do a Google Meets. And we only had 6 students get on, but they showed, someone wanted to show me their cat.
Oh,
and
cool.
one guy was, he was on Meets, and he was shooting hoops on a little hoop behind him.
Okay.
And every once in a while he'd go and jam it and then come back and watch. And he showed me his dog. I showed him my one-eyed dog. And so it was kind of a show and tell, kind of a get-together, hopefully. And there was a little academics, and I told him, listen, if you have questions, I have the technology to get on here, show you on my computer how to do things. So
Great.
check in with me.
Awesome, Nick. Thanks for making that a fun moment and a meaningful one at the same time. So you also have a student living in your house.
Yes, I do.
So tell us a little bit about family life right now. What's your structure of your day, and how's Amelia doing with all this?
Amelia likes the home situation, like Nicola and I like the home situation. We're homebodies. And so she's got a smaller class that she's involved in. So she does Zoom classes in the morning.
Okay.
From about 9 to noon, she goes through the subjects on split screen, on a grid screen. She sees her classmates and she gets to relate to them.
Helpful.
And very helpful, very helpful. And then while she's doing that, I'm downstairs doing my thing, and then Nicola's off. She could, thank goodness that she can still work.
Great.
And at about noon, Amelia gets off. She has a load of homework. I think a little bit heavier load of homework than she normally has in a regular, when things were normal. But there's that noon time where we all get together, we all converge for lunch, and there's no pressure to be anywhere.
Nice.
There's a lot of drawbacks to sheltering in place, but there are a lot of benefits too. So we're trying to soak those benefits up.
Absolutely, and what a time you will always remember.
Yeah,
your
very
family will
memorable.
look back on 2020 and the shelter at home and the joy that you found in the mix of, as you said, the tough parts of this too.
Yeah.
So Nick, let me just wrap up with one last question. What are you doing in the stressful times? What are you doing to keep sane in the midst of all that's going on and everything that's thrown at you?
Yeah, I think it's maintaining routine.
Okay.
When school was still on, I would get up really early, and I just had to, I started my day in the same way, with some exercise in the morning, some stretching exercises, and then some quiet time, spending it reading scripture, praying for the day that was to come, and just kind of being thankful, an attitude of gratitude for, the fact that I really love what I do before the COVID situation. And now I get to do something that I love, and I get to create these lessons, and I get to create them in my own home with my daughter upstairs doing the learning, and my wife's still employed, and so there's a lot to be thankful for. So just kind of soaking in that gratitude and being super thankful is just a way that I set my day.
Awesome.
And if I don't do it, I can feel it.
We
So,
can,
yeah.
can't we? Yeah, I love that. That's the first time I've heard that particular answer to staying sane is being grateful.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Nick, thank you for making
Yeah.
your journey up here
Yeah.
today and being with us. And I know people are they're thrilled just to see you. We're all thrilled anytime we get to see each other right now. So.
I miss this. I miss the connections, and I'm especially thankful for the opportunity to worship online.
Good.
Like I was telling you,
Yeah.
got a little bit verklempt, a little emotional in this last sermon online, and I love the idea of being able to interact and throw the hearts out so I would strongly encourage people to do the Facebook thing.
Oh, good.
So.
So join us on Facebook this Sunday,
There's
9
a plug.
o'clock and 10:30. Would love to have you. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thanks.